What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson, with more than 2 decades in sales. I've been through it, I've lived it, I've heard some of it. Now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, this is the greatest job on the planet. Any background, any history, doesn't matter. You can have an amazing life through sales. And today's guest is someone who I'm super duper excited to have on. Not only has he built an amazing business in his hometown, created an awesome community of people, he is one hell of a dedicated husband, father, and man. And I am just so honored to have my friend, Mr. Daine Pattion, with us. What's up, brother?
Hey, Drewbie, thank you so much. Thank you for that awesome introduction. And I am very grateful and appreciative of you for having me on here.
Well, and I want to say first and foremost, man, if you're listening to this, you might not see it, but my man's in his truck right now because he literally just got done taking lunch to school for his son for his birthday, and he is carving out time to be here with us today. So, man, gratitude from the bottom of my heart for your time. But I want to jump right in because you've got an amazing business with Bats to Rats, and I want to know some crazy sales stories, bro. Go right in. Tell me something wild.
For sure. So most people call me, I'm not outbounding call because I don't know if you've got bats or rodents or what you have going on in your house. So most people call me, and with what I do, you just never know what's on the other end of the phone. One guy could be, raccoons in a chimney, squirrels in a soffit, but some of the craziest stuff would be, one time I got a call and they said they had wild turkeys in Memorial Stadium, which is right here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the home of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So you got wild turkeys just kind of frolicking along inside the stadium. So that was pretty crazy. I had to wrangle them up and get them into a women's restroom that had like pull down garage doors. So I had to go in and wrangle those out of there. So my sales stories are a little bit different than most sales stories because people, they don't know what to do. And luckily, I market myself being able to take care of all kinds of things. So they call me, I take care of those. Another really fun one was one time I had some customers call and they said, "Do you take care of snakes?" Yeah, I live in Nebraska, so yeah, we have garter snakes. There's nothing really too crazy here. But they said, "Well, we have a 10-foot boa constrictor that we lost." Like, oh crap! Like, I've never dealt with anything like that before, but I was like, I can see if I can help you. I come to your house, and they're older people, they're a little bit bigger people. They just bought this house; it was brand new to them. They didn't know they had a crawl space in the house. I do a full inspection. I find that they have this hidden crawl space, and that's where that damn snake was. So I had to crawl in there. So once I take care of the problem, then they pay me. So sales are pretty easy once you take care of the problem.
Well, that's such an interesting perspective because, we've had a lot of different industries represented on the show. Pest control, I believe you're the first, so this is a fun one because it's so different. It's the sales process for you is very much like, what do you have going on? Let's see if we can fix it. It's so cool, but what I know about you is that it's not just sales for you. It's very much about service, which is what's allowed you to become the go-to person for your area. And how have you been able to really train others to be empathetic from that side of the phone? Because I always look at sales as it's empathy and confidence, right? Can you be empathetic and hear what people have going on, and then confident in delivery? So how do you bring that confidence, and how do you get people to really understand where you're coming from?
The big thing for me is anytime I'm training people that are going to be answering our phones is they need to listen first and then educate second. Because when those people call, I've got scratching, or I've got something that was inside my attic space at night and it woke me up, or there was a bat flying around my house, or mouse crap all over. They have a problem, they have a need right away. But so often in this industry that I'm in, and I've been in this industry for 17 years now, own my own business for 9 years. So what I see competitors and other big companies do is they try to sell on fear. Because pest control, wildlife control, so many times it's like, hey, this is what you got going on, and you're going to deal with rabies, you're going to deal with histoplasmosis, hantavirus, all of these terrible things that people don't want in their house, around their kids, or any of that kind of stuff. So it's usually a fairly easy sell for some people when they do fair-based selling. But that's not the way that I do business. That has no place in my core values or in my life, is trying to scare people to get a sale. I want to make sure that we are empathetic to the people on the phone. We try to talk them through why it is that this animal got into their home. And then once they agree to have us come to the house, then we turn that education up even more. We come out and show them what's going on and teach them why it happened. And I'll even teach them how to take care of the problem themselves. But 9 times out of 10, they're not getting up on ladders. They're not getting on the roof. They're not crawling in a crawl space. They're not doing all the kinds of things that we do to keep those critters and pests out of people's homes.
Dain, you were reading my mind, and I'm not going to say I was projecting you to say these things, but you said it exactly how I wanted you to say it, because it is exactly that. You can have fear-based selling. However, what I love about you is you said two things, really. Core values, number one, and we're going to go into that here in a second. But number two, you will continue to educate your customer to the point where they don't need you, but they choose to hire you because they already feel that confident that you can solve the problem and save them the things that matter to them: time, money, energy. And honestly, most of us don't want to go and deal with histoplasmosis or whatever the frick that word was. Like, hey man, no, I'm good, Dain. You go ahead and take care of that, big dog. That's all well and good. And what I also really appreciate is you own your business. You have been, there 9 years, you said, but you still made time to stop your day to go and be there for your family. And one of the things that I know about you personally, and those seeing this now, if I can find a before and after, I'm going to add it in here. But like, you've completely changed yourself as a man too, because you make time to work out, to be healthy. You've lost a massive amount of weight, which kudos, brother, because I know that journey. We've talked about it offline. What were some of the things that you had to like implement in your life so that you could be in control of your time? Because there's a lot of sales professionals that listen to this that are like, I got to answer the phones. I got to be there. I got to do this, that. Like, how do you control that for yourself?
Well, gee, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that I've learned from you and following you over time and doing some of your trainings. Was I had to figure out how to time block my schedule. Being a husband, being a father, and being a business owner, they all take all the time in the world. And trying to figure out how I prioritize what's most important is my family first, and making sure that they know that I'm here to take care of them. What's important to them is important to me. Like you said, making time. So not making time, just making it mandatory that I spend the time with them. And when I started my business, I was a one-man operation. So, I'd start 7:30 in the morning, and I'd get home at 5 o'clock, and then I'd be on the phones returning calls, because it's hard to be on sales calls when you're on a roof or on ladders or whatever I was doing. So then I'm sitting in the driveway making calls until 7:30. So I have a 12-hour day, and then I'm exhausted, and the kids want to play or we want to make dinner. And, I wasn't in a very healthy spot. And it just trying to build a business and do that, and then have a family at the same time. And I wasn't fueling myself with what I needed to be the best version of myself. So that's really kind of where my health journey began, is I had to look in the mirror and get honest with myself and say, you're not the man that you're supposed to be for your wife or for your kids. And my business was suffering from it as well, too. So I had to make some changes and really focus on my health for a few years. I dropped 116 pounds total. That was about 18 months. It was hard work, calorie deficit every single day, every single week. We shed it off. And what I thought was just going to be, weight loss turned into like the most incredible personal development journey that I never knew I needed. I've really grown from that point. Once I started to become the person I was destined to be, the man that I was made to be, and the leader that I was supposed to be for my family and for my community and for my business and team and all that, like, man, practicing gratitude. I do it every single day because I have so much that I'm grateful for, and I don't know where I'd be if I wouldn't have went down this path a few years ago.
Well, we can make a lot of assumptions, but we don't have to, because you made the decision to make better decisions. You made the decision to control your time. And it's funny because so many people, when I tell them, hey, you want more freedom? We're going to look at your calendar and we're going to time block and literally schedule every single thing that you do. And they're like, well, that doesn't make sense. That's not freedom at all. But that's where they get it so twisted, because when you set the schedule, guess what? You get to decide what's on there. And like we talked about earlier, you literally in the middle of your day stopped, probably took 45 minutes or so to get lunch, go and see your son, spend that time, have that wholesome moment. And now you're going to hop right back on. You got right on with me. I'm sure right after this, you got another call scheduled. You're going to be on your way somewhere to get the next thing done, because you operate with intentionality. And in doing so, you have the ability to make such a massive impact in every area. But think about that. Your son is going to say, well, hey, man, my dad took time out of his day to come to the school and bring me lunch. That's stuff that lives on forever. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about you, Dain, is you're not just talking about it, man. You're really living it day in, day out. And not only for you, but you've now created a community locally where you're kind of leading and setting the bar. So one, my first question is, when you decided to take this health journey, I know it made a massive impact in all areas, but the biggest question I have for you is, how much did it impact your bank account?
It was crazy where my business was, and I was doing okay, but from once I decided to go all in on myself and on my health, my business started to grow 50% greater the next year, and then it was double that the next year, and it's just like, man, I look back to before, when I was Fat Dain and what I was doing and now what we're doing. It makes me speechless seeing where we went. Like, I had 2 employees then, and now we've got like a team of 7. It's like crazy.
And I only ask because there's so many people who could take this journey, right? You could start right now. You can make the decision to say, hey, I'm going to just calorie deficit every day until I get to my goal. I'm going to just get up and take a walk. There's so many little things that you can just implement into your daily routine that will make all the difference. And it's a compounding effect. Dain said it. It took him 18 months to lose that 100 pounds. He lost an entire human being. It took him a lifetime to get there. It only took 18 months to knock it off. That's the craziest thing, right? People forget that it takes a long time to get somewhere, but we can make a change like this. And our bodies will react, and our mind will react, and our life, the energy, the people around us will react. And what has happened for you, Dain, is you've not only been able to make a business impact for you, but now you're leading other businesses in your community. You're bringing together others, and you're showing them, hey, here's what I went through. Nothing, no fluff, no mess. This is the stuff that I've personally experienced. And how has that really affected your community, being able to do that?
Yeah, so we have like over 100 members in our ecosystem now. We have kind of like 3 different facets of it. We have an all women's group. We have a group called the organization, and we have like a referral network group, and then we also have like a tier 2 coaching group and stuff like that. And going from really just 10 to 12 of us to over 100 now in the last year or so, it's been absolutely crazy to see. And like last night here locally, there was kind of like the newspaper's choice awards for best businesses. And I think like 5 or 6 of the best businesses awards went to some of our members. And seeing that, like, what really excited me about starting my own business, taking customers from the first call to the finished project, like I felt pride in myself. Oh, this is my business. I took care of them. Then like the evolution of having employees that do that, and we get 5-star reviews because they do great service from our office manager on the phone to the technicians taking care of them, and I'm not involved in it. And now, like, seeing these other businesses that I'm helping coach and I'm helping support win these awards and change their lives and their families' lives, like, this is how we build stronger communities, how we build stronger cities and states and really everything. So it's crazy. I live in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's a small town, heartland of America. And until I started traveling and seeing what's out there and seeing these other communities and like what's really possible, I really had no idea what the capacity or potential that I have and who I could impact until I started traveling around and seeing other people doing really cool shit.
It reminds me of the book, The Alchemist. Have you ever read it?
I haven't read that one, no.
Oh, Dain, go do yourself a favor. Pick it up on Audible. It's like an hour and a half if you go on 1.2 speed. You'll really enjoy it. So I'm going to kind of spoil a little bit. It's all about the hero's journey, right? You have to go out and explore and experience in order to bring that wisdom back to your hometown and your community. Go do yourself a favor, grab that book. I know you will, and I can't wait to hear what you think. And if you're listening to this and you haven't read The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, I'll send you the link, Dain, but like go check it out, man. Absolutely. It's an amazing story, and I think you'll really resonate with it, so you'll really enjoy it. And what's cool is it really leads me into, with all the things that you've done, you've built a business, you have your home, your family, your health, you're like dialing in every aspect. The one thing I always like to ask is, like, let's say if you could go back in time and meet your original self, or maybe you meet a new sales guy who's just entering into the sales world right now, what piece of advice would you give them to go and be successful?
It would have to be to focus on your health and fitness. The one thing that I correlate my sales background and my ability to close customers and provide solutions for them is I didn't understand like how powerful it is to walk in a room and be so confident in myself now. Because when I was 330-pound Dane, he was not confident in himself. You know, I would be self-deprecating humor, and deep down inside, I wasn't super happy. On the outside, I was that smiling fat guy that liked to drink and have fun, but there was some stuff deep down inside that I didn't want to let out, and I didn't realize that it was really bothering me. And then once I started to like really be proud of the man that was in the mirror for the way that I transformed, like that confidence just started oozing out of me. And like anytime I walk in the room, like people pick up on that energy. They understand it. They can feel it because I know who I am and what I can provide to other people now. And that's really like the biggest thing that I've noticed when it comes to my kind of sales journey and then my weight loss journey together.
That is so beautiful, man. And it's true. I can also attest to the same thing. When I started getting my health and wellness dialed in, everything else kind of fell in line. It's funny, how you do anything is how you do everything. And when you start getting your health in order, the energy just compounds. And so, Dain, I've had an amazing time, man. I know you're busy, so I don't want to keep you all day. Again, I have nothing but gratitude for you cutting some time out of your day to be here with us. If anyone's listening and they're in the Lincoln, Nebraska area and they want to find out how to connect with you because they haven't already heard, I know you're like the mayor of your town at this point, but if they some reason haven't heard, how can they come and find you? How can they learn more about what you guys got going on and be a part of your amazing community?
Yeah, for sure. So my business is Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention here in Lincoln. We service the whole state of Nebraska. We'll even go into Missouri, Kansas, and Iowa. So we'll travel. It's bats2rats.com. So BATSTORATS.com. You can find us online there. You can find us on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X. Me personally, I'm on Facebook and Instagram pretty much most of the time, and that's just Daine Patton, DAINE PATTON, and that's both on Facebook and Instagram. No, I am very grateful for the chance and opportunity to sit here and talk with you. I have loved following your journey and my journey. Like when you show those pictures of where you were, years ago and where you are now, it's like, man, like this guy gets it because you've lived the same thing. You know what it takes. And I love that you're doing the work and the amazing things you're doing for your family now. And you're on the road and in that trailer now. It looks awesome. I was just telling my wife the other day, like, man, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, we have a home daycare and stuff, so I can't be doing that right now. But man, getting a trailer and seeing the country would just be amazing.
Yeah, we are super duper excited to continue to live and be an example for those of you who say, hey, someday I'm going to do that. Because, man, the beautiful thing about success is it's a perspective. What I see is different than what you see, but you and I have both been down the path of what it takes to be successful, and that's that just die-hard commitment and that willingness to just make those sacrifices and do what you got to do. Call the damn leads, pick up the phone, crawl in the crawl space, wrestle the 10-foot boa constrictor if that's what you got to do. And you're a man who does that, Dain. So I cannot thank you enough for your friendship, for your time. And for those of you who have been here with us, if you got something of value, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it on social media. tag us, tell your friends, leave a review, do all the things that help us get in front of more people like you, because we just want to help. We want sales professionals to go out, live the life that they want to live, and have the time to live the best life that you can. So make sure you do all that, share it, tag us, etc. If you have a crazy sales story, I'd love to bring you on the show and tell it. Go to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your info. We'll get you scheduled. For now, you guys know what to do. Go call the damn leads. We'll see you on the next one.